In this exercise, we will create a phone using the rectangle chamfer move, copy, explode, fillet, and offset commands. I'm going to begin this drawing by checking the settings of my units. I'll type in units at the command line. I want to use decimal units. I'll check my snap and grid. I want my snap to be 0.25 and I want my grid to be 1. I'll say OK. I'll do a zoom all, and then I will draw a rectangle to represent the outside of the phone. The rectangle is 5 inches by 2.5 inches. So I will use my grid to count up 5 and then over 2.5. The button at the bottom of my phone has a diameter of 1, so I'll use the circle command and I'll come up 1/2 inch, D for diameter, and then 0.5 is the diameter. I also need to draw the screen with the rectangle command, and I can type in rectangle, or I could hit spacebar since it was the last command that I entered. The rectangle is 2 inches by 3.5 inches for my screen. And then I want to chamfer off these sharp edges, which could really hurt somebody, using the chamfer command. I can go to the Modify panel and select chamfer. I'll type in D for distance and give each of the distances 0.25 for the first and the second chamfer distance. I'll select the lines, click, and hit enter or spacebar to continue chamfering at 0.25. The chamfers work well to take off those sharp edges. Another method is to use fillets. I'm going to move this drawing over to the left portion of my screen using the move command on the Modify panel, or by typing in move. I'll select a base point in the bottom left corner. Often I like to use a corner or a center point as my base point, and I'll place it over here on the edge. I now want to make a copy of this. I'll use the copy command also on the Modify panel, or I'll type in copy. Select, right click, again a base point. I'll bring it over. I'm going to select the entire exterior of my phone. Notice it's one object. I'll hit the explode command to explode it, and that will allow me to individually select the chamfers, and then I can hit the delete key to remove those. The fillet command is the same pull down as the chamfer command on the Modify panel, or I can type in fillet. I want my fillet to have a radius of 0.3, so I'll type in R, enter, 0.3, enter, and then I'll pick the buttons that need to be picked here. The last one that I want to do, I'll copy the phone using the copy command again. Well, before I do that, let me draw the slot at the top where you can hear through. To do that, I'll use the line command, and I'll start with a line right about here. It's 0.75 for the distance. I want to center it, so I'll select it, select the center grip, and then I'm going to use the offset command, which is also on the modify panel right there, with an offset distance of 0.125. Enter. I'll select the object, and then I need to choose the side. I want it to be on this side, and I've offset it by 0.125. I can put fillets on the edge using the trim option within Fillet. So I will type in fillet to get to my fillet command, and then T for trim, enter. I'll hit enter again to get into the trim mode, and then I can select each one of these two parallel lines, and it automatically fillets it for me. Let me do that again. T for trim, enter, select, select. Finally, for this phone, I want to offset the entire outer edge. So again, I'll use the offset command with the distance of 0.125, and then I'll select each one of these fillets and lines individually to offset them, and I'm just left clicking here. I could also use P-edit to turn these all into a polyline and then just offset it once. That would also work. Okay, the last step here, I'll copy it one more time, and then I want to customize this particular phone, and I'll do that using the break command, which is also on the modify panel here. I have to click on the down arrow to get to it. I'm going to break at a point, or actually at 2 points. I'll select the object that I want to break. I'll hit F to enter the first point, and then I'll select the first point followed by the second break point, and it immediately breaks out that portion. I'm going to use a simple 3-point arc to create this additional feature, and then I'll repeat that process one more time with the break command, selecting the line, typing in F for the first point, and then selecting the first point, click, and the second point, click. That breaks my line, and then I can again use that 3-point arc to create this special outer feature so that I am not sued for design patent infringement. And I've completed my phone.